Sara was a 12-year-old girl, and Michael was her 16-year-old older brother. Michael spent most of his time on social media, but he loved his sister very much. Sara had a huge passion for detective stories. She loved reading mystery and investigation books. One day, Sara was sitting in the lawn outside their house, reading a detective novel on a chair. Near the main gate of the house, Michael was sitting and using his mobile phone. Suddenly, a white van stopped outside the house. Within seconds, 3 or 4 men jumped out of the van, grabbed Sara forcefully, pushed her inside the van, and drove away. Everything happened so quickly that Michael couldn't even understand what was happening. He ran after the van, but he couldn't save his sister. The kidnappers successfully abducted Sara. Inside the van, they blindfolded her with a black cloth and started threatening her. They demanded the phone numbers of her family members. Sara gave them the numbers of her older brother Michael and her father. The kidnappers took Sara to an unknown location, while her eyes were still blindfolded. First, they made an internet call to Sara's father so the call could not be traced. They threatened him, let him hear a small part of Sara's voice, and demanded $1 million for her release. Then they called Michael from a normal mobile number and said,
"If you want to see your sister alive, don't tell anyone about this call. Do exactly what we say. Whenever the police try to chase us, you will inform us in advance."
Okay, I will do whatever you say. But please let me talk to my sister once.
Your sister is safe in a warehouse.
Then the call suddenly ended. Michael called the number again, but instead of a person, he heard an AI-generated voice recording saying, "Please leave your message." Behind the recording, there was also a faint sound of a train. Michael then dialed the same number using the home landline, but again the same AI-generated message played. Meanwhile, at home, the parents called the police, and the investigation began. A full day passed, but no clues were found. Michael started thinking, if I have to inform the kidnappers about every police move, then who will actually search for my sister? So Michael told the police.
If you have a detective, please include him in this case.
The police brought in a 48-year-old detective named Roger. Roger came to the house and spoke with the parents and Michael. Then he started carefully observing everything in the house. When he entered Sara's room, he noticed that it was filled with books, all of them detective and investigation stories. Roger asked Michael,
"Was this the only thing she was interested in?"
Yes, Sara truly wanted to become a detective one day. She spent all day reading books like these.
Then Michael handed Roger Sara's favorite book. Roger then noticed the landline phone in the house. He asked Michael,
"When everyone has smartphones, why do you still keep a landline?"
It's just old, so it's still there. No one really uses it.
But when Roger looked closely at the buttons of the landline, he noticed something interesting. Some of the buttons had less dust on them, meaning they were used recently. Roger wrote those numbers down. That night, he rearranged the numbers and formed several possible mobile numbers. He called them one by one. Most of them were not active numbers, and many others were switched off. Only one number was active. When he called it, the same AI-generated recording played, along with the sound of a train. Then Roger opened Sara's favorite book. On the first page, he noticed some numbers written: 07, 12, 27, 39. Roger opened those pages and picked the first letter from each page. When he combined those letters, they formed the word warehouse. The detective understood that Michael had given him this clue. Roger then checked the list of warehouses near railway tracks. Only one warehouse matched the location. Roger told the police they would raid that warehouse the next morning. The police informed the parents about the plan. Michael overheard the conversation. Later, Michael secretly sent a text message to the kidnappers, keeping the promise he had made, because he wanted to protect his sister. Meanwhile, the kidnappers were keeping Sara inside a room in a warehouse. From the sound of trains, Sara realized she was near a railway line. Inside the room, there was a small fridge and a glass for drinking water. Sara also found an old analog watch and a coin on the floor. She secretly hid both of them. Then she placed the glass against the door and listened through it to hear what the kidnappers were saying outside. The kidnappers were talking.
"The boy I threatened has sent a message. We need to change locations.
There's only one other warehouse we can go to, the Siso warehouse."
Sara heard everything. She thought, If they move me from here, how will the police find me? So she decided to leave clues behind. She placed the coin standing upright, leaning against a pipe, pointing toward the fridge. Then she set the analog watch to 5:15 and hid it under the fridge. Next, she increased the temperature of the freezer. When ice formed, she broke a sharp triangular piece of ice. She slightly cut her hand with it and dropped the ice piece on the floor. Within minutes, the ice melted into water, leaving a triangular watermark. Later, the kidnappers moved Sara to the second location, the Saiso warehouse. The next morning, Detective Roger and the police raided the first warehouse. But the warehouse was empty. Sara was gone. However, Roger knew Sara loved detective stories. So he started examining everything very carefully, including the room where she had been kept. On the floor, he noticed a triangular watermark. From the shape, Roger realized it might have been made by a sharp ice weapon. He collected the sample and sent it to the lab for testing. Then he noticed the standing coin near the pipe. It looked like the perfect place for someone to sit. Roger sat there and pushed the coin slightly. The coin rolled directly under the fridge. When he reached under the fridge to retrieve it, he discovered the analog watch, which showed the time 5:15. He took the coin and the watch with him. By now, it was the third day of the kidnapping. Detective Roger was sitting in a restaurant, studying the clues, the watch, the coin, and his diary where he had written all the investigation notes. At that moment, Michael arrived and sat across from him. Roger said,
Thank you for giving me the warehouse clue.
And I'm sorry for informing the kidnappers about your raid.
Roger was shocked and asked,
Why did you do that?
I gave you the warehouse clue for my sister, and I warned them about the raid for my sister too. I'm tired and scared. I just want to see my sister again.
It's okay. I understand.
Michael looked at the items on the table.
What are these?
These are the clues your sister left behind. We know she's in a warehouse, but we don't know which one.
Just then, Roger received a call from the police lab. They told him, the water sample you sent, it was originally ice, and it contains Sara's blood traces. We matched the DNA. Sara was definitely there. Roger then said to Michael,
Your sister left the watch and the coin. Can you figure out which warehouse she might be in?
Michael looked at the watch and the diary. Then he said,
Raid the Saiso warehouse.
Why Saiso?
Michael pointed at the diary where 5:15 was written.
It's written here.
Roger immediately called the police. Soon after, he led the police team in a raid on the Saiso warehouse. Inside, they found Sara and rescued her safely. The 12-year-old Sara ran and hugged her 16-year-old brother Michael, crying uncontrollably. Michael also began to cry. Sara then said,
Thank you, Detective, for finding me.
Roger smiled and replied,
No, Sara. Thank you for helping us find you. You two siblings are truly amazing. Everyone thought your brother is addicted to mobile phones. But when it came to you, he became a detective too, to save his sister. God bless you too.